Hello everyone and welcome to From the Heart Friday with me, Jessica Brigden of JessBCreativeCardiology. Hello, happy Friday, happy November. Today is the 1st and it's cold. It's a little bit chilly today. We had beautiful 70, actually it was 80 degree. We broke a record here in central New York. We had 80-degree weather both Wednesday and Thursday. It was magnificent. It was actually 60 degrees last night, and then the temperature has slowly been dropping throughout the day. So I got my walk in this morning. It was really windy. I could feel that, like the cold front coming in, but I did get my walk in. So I feel good about that because I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I'm solar powered. And I say that because when the sun is shining and bright, I feel great. And then as the grayer it gets, the sun goes behind a cloud, it's now like gloomy and cold, and my motivation has just gone. I got a lot to do today because we have a very busy weekend ahead of us. So I have a fun technique card for you today. Originally, I had planned to do my Fun Fold Workshop of the Month projects today. However, based on when I sent them out, I know that those who ordered to receive them do not have them yet. So I'm going to postpone that to next Friday. I might have to adjust the time a little bit because next Friday I will be attending Stampin' Up's Backstage Leadership event. And of course, that is right in the middle of the afternoon. That's when it starts. So I will let you guys know on that. So instead of the Fun Fold, I've got a different technique for you today, but I think you're gonna really enjoy it. So grab your designer series papers, your pattern papers, and if you have any of the landscape designs, I am going to be using the Splendid Autumn collection. Okay, so I've got the Splendid Autumn 6x6 designer series paper stack. This is still available. This is in the Stampin' Up September to December mini catalog. You get 48 sheets. It's awesome, okay? The other paper that would work really well with that would be the Thoughtful Wishes collection from the annual catalog. That's the May through April annual catalog. This is Thoughtful, well, the paper's called Thoughtful Journey, okay? And that's got some really pretty landscapes. Of course, we still have the Meandering Meadows online exclusive paper, or you might even have some of the Open Sleigh, the horse, the winter themed paper from last year. But any landscape, really any paper would work, but especially these landscapes make it super fun. So let's get stamping, okay? I'm gonna flip the camera and we'll get started right away here. All right, so first of the month means I do have a new host code for November. My code is BXHR23WC. And when you use that, when you are checking out, you enter that code into your shopping cart. It will ask you if you have a host code. My picture will pop up and it says you're shopping with Jessica Brigden, and it ties your order in with me. And that way I can send you my perks of the month. I can send you, if your order is $50 or more, I'll send you my Fun Fold Workshop of the Month projects. I will send you my project tutorials, and oh my goodness, my project tutorials for November. My Create With Us international team blew it out of the water. We did monochromatic projects, which means projects that all use colors within the same color, like different tones within the same color family. Projects are absolutely amazing. And I also have just a little something I want to share with you guys too. October 1st, so we're 1 month in to the new Stampin' Up business year. And I'm really working hard. I really want to earn the Stampin' Up incentive trip to Alaska. All right, that's what I'm working on right now. And on top of that, I'm working towards my milestone of $400,000 in sales. I know that's a lot of stamps, ink, and paper. I am $20,000 away from that. And so 20,000 away from that sales milestone. Okay. And so just putting that out there, that is what I'm working on this year, like kind of behind the scenes goals for myself. But a heads up I want to give you guys too. Those of you who have stamped with Stampin' Up! For a while have probably been familiar that they've had a host rewards program. The thing is, they are changing that. You might notice there is no host rewards section in these new catalogs, and that's because Stampin' Up! Will be changing that program. That change, as far as we know, as demonstrators, from what Stampin' Up! Has informed us, that change is to take place in March 2025, which means I have 4 months. We have 4 months under the current rewards program for earning rewards with our Stampin' Up! Purchases. So like when you use the host code, that too ties the orders together, and then I'm able to use the rewards to give you guys freebies like embellishments or my card kits, right? I use those supplies for that. So that is changing as far as I know, March 1st. So 4 months under this current program. So what I'm putting out there is essentially a 4-month club, okay? A 4-month host club where you don't actually have to host anything. All I'm asking is that if you place a $50 order each month for the next 4 months, that's November, December, January, and February, then not only will you get my perks, but at the end of that 4-month club, I will also give you a gift. Okay, I will give you some free stamp product, and I will have different ordering levels, but it will start there at the $50 level. So all you have to do is place an order with me each month of a minimum of $50. Make sure you use my host code each month, and at that end of that 4 months, then I will have a pretty awesome reward for you guys. So just something I'm putting out there because you might not be aware of some of those changes taking place. That's also true if you generally place orders of $150 or more. You know, when you place a $150 order, you automatically get $15 of Stampin' rewards. Okay, you don't end up using a host code then. You get your own host rewards. And as of March 1st, that will be changing too. Okay, so a couple things I wanted you guys to be aware of. Let me adjust my lighting screen here so we can get into our panoramic panel technique card. Okay, panoramic panel technique. We're using some different landscape paper, and of course the Splendid autumn paper is just so pretty. And I thought, well, with it being November 1st, these beautiful autumn fall designs were fitting, although with the wind and the rain that we've had here recently, we really don't have too many leaves on the trees anymore, but we did have a beautiful autumn while it lasted. So maybe you still have have some leaves, pretty leaves on the trees wherever you are. Okay, so this is the pattern that I have chosen out of that Splendid Autumn paper pack. The backside is just a crushed curry. So I've pulled out a few colors that I feel coordinate with this. I've got some early espresso, some balmy blue, Cajun craze, and some crushed curry here. And you guys can help me decide which colors to use. Okay, so I need 1 sheet of this designer series paper. And then I'm also, for my sentiment and a little accent piece, I'm going to use the Wild Ferns bundle. Okay, this was a new bundle in the catalog. I guess it's not actually a new bundle, it's a carryover. Okay, you can still see this on page 80 of the annual catalog, and it involves, there's a stamp set and a die. Okay, so I liked that we have nice sentiments. I've got a thank you. I've also got some heartfelt condolences. I have some sympathy cards that I need to send. And then the dies, The dies are really cool because we have these corner accent pieces with these neat little leaf fern designs. We have some stitched rectangle sentiment panels, okay, in various sizes. And then we've of course got fun leaves that cut out, or dies that cut out the different ferns. Okay, so this is what I'm using with that. Of course, we can also use the Autumn Expressions stamp bundle that coordinates with the Splendid Autumn collection. And actually this sentiment here, may the beauty of the season fill your heart with joy, that would actually fit in, I think that would fit in these labels too. Maybe not that one, but it would definitely fit in the largest one, okay? So we got lots of options here, okay? All right, so let's get started. I think what I'm going to do is use the Early Espresso as my base. Okay, so I've got this cut as just a standard card base at 5.5 by 8.5. All right, so I'm gonna fold that along the long side here at 4.25. Okay, so my card is 4.25 by 5.5. I'm actually gonna turn that so it's landscape, okay, horizontal there. I remembered to cut my insert for inside the card. Okay, so it's just a basic white panel that's 4 by 5.25. And I'm going to use this, oh, there's Miss Ziggy, my stamping mascot. I found her the other night. I came out here to my stamp room for something the other evening, and she was sitting on top of my desk in the dark. I don't know what she was doing, but she was just apparently supervising my supplies. So, all right, so there we go. We've got our card started, okay? And now this is where the technique comes in. So we need to cut this 6 by 6 panel down to 4 by 5. So 4 inches tall, 5 inches wide, okay? All right, and so since we're doing, this is 6 by 6, we want it to be 5 inches. So I'm actually going to take just a 1/2 inch. I'm gonna take a 1/2 inch off of each end. That way it is, so I'm gonna rotate that 90 degrees there, okay, and then line it up at the 5 inch mark, okay, so that it comes out even. I want my landscape centered, okay, so I want this pretty part in the middle. So I just trimmed a 1/2 inch section off of each end. Okay, now it needs to be 4 inches tall. So I need a 4 inch section, and I think I want this pathway. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to trim, we're still 6 inches here, so I'm gonna trim 2 inches off of the very top. All right, so I'm gonna put this here at the 4 inch mark and trim 2 inches off the top. All right, so I went from having a 6 by 6 sheet of paper to a 4 inches by 5 inch piece of paper, okay? All right, that's important. So you'll notice this is not, we're not going to layer it on top, okay? And we're just trimming this down to 4 by 5. And when we are doing this, we're actually gonna work off each side, okay? So that we end up with that center panel right in the middle. So the first thing we're going to do is now we are going to trim 3/4 off of each end, okay? So I'm gonna use, that's the, I love that our trimmer, you can go left or right, okay? So I'm gonna trim 3/4, 0.75 off of the right side, okay? And then I'm going to trim 0.75 off of the left side, okay? Then I'm going to trim 1 inch off of the right side. And then 1 inch off of the left side, okay? And then we're going to leave this center panel whole, okay? So now I've got this 4 by 5 inch piece is now in 5 pieces, okay? 5 strips there. All right, if you were tuning in, make sure give me a thumbs up, give me a comment, let me know where you're tuning in from. All right, and I'm just encouraging you as well, if you're enjoying the video, please make sure to subscribe. Thank you. Okay, so center panel is going to stay whole, okay? We are going to work now with these 3/4 inch panels, okay? We are going to trim a 1/2 inch off the top and the bottom of each piece, okay? So doesn't matter which end you start with. We're gonna cut half, 0.5 off of one end. All right, and then come in at 0.5 and trim that off the other end. Okay, so that's my far right piece. Hi, Cheryl, so good to have you here. Oh, wonderful. Hi, Kat, hello, hello. Ooh, Southern California, sunny but cool. Well, how cool are we talking? Although I'll have to admit, yesterday I was looking at the weather, and we're getting ready. Usually over Thanksgiving time, we head down to Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. We escape New York for a little while, and we head down south. And so I was adding Myrtle Beach to my weather app, and we were actually warmer here in New York last night than they were in Myrtle Beach. Crazy. That's not the case anymore because we're down. It's like it went from 70 degrees last night, 60 degrees overnight. It's dropped throughout the day, and I believe we're like at 45 degrees now. So now we're talking it's chilly. Okay, so this was the left piece, all right, the far left piece. Again, we're gonna trim a 1/2 inch off of each end, okay? So there's the bottom, here's a 1/2 inch off of the very top. Okay, so this is going to go on the far left, okay? All right, so now we have the kind of the middle pieces, you might say. Okay, now with these, we are going to trim a 1/4 inch. Okay, these are 1 inch strips, and we're going to trim just 0.25, 1/4 inch off the bottom of each. So 1/4 inch, that's just this first of the kind of the medium lines, okay? All right, so you can actually see Stampin' Up has already done the grid in 1/4 inches for us. Okay, so 1/4 inch there. I'm actually gonna rotate that because it's easier to work on this side than to try to line it up right there. So 1/4 inch off the top and the bottom. Okay, this is this one. Can you guys see how it's starting to take place? And it looks like those cool landscape portraits, that those panorama photos that you can hang up on your wall where they're like different panels. I think that's so cool. Okay, so this piece again, we are going to, this is the 1 inch strip, trim 0.25, a 1/4 inch off the end of each. So leave me a comment, let me know, have you ever tried this technique before? Hi Linda, hello, hello. Officially winter there in Kenosha. Woo, yep, same here. I think we're about the same. Oh my goodness, Cheryl, you had temps in the hundreds 2 weeks ago. Yep, that's too hot for me. I am a fair weather stamper, that's for sure. My ideal temperature would be like 70 degrees. Let's say 72. 72 degrees like all year long. I think that would be absolutely perfect. Okay, so we started with a 6x6 panel of Splendid Autumn paper. We have trimmed that down into 5 sections. The outside pieces are 3/4 inch. The next sections are 1 inch, and then our middle section here is just the 1.5 inches, okay? All right, so we're going to leave them like this. We're gonna glue them on spaced out just a little bit, but I want something to kind of brighten up. I feel like they're gonna just kind of blend into the background a little too much. So I want to layer something behind them. Just a little strip of cardstock. I actually think this crushed curry, because it's nice and bright and it brings out those yellow leaves. I think that might be our best option. All right, you guys can chime in and let me know if you have which color you think. This next one we could try. This is Cajun Craze. So it's not exactly red. It's kind of an orangey, like a burnt orange. And that brings out more of these sleeve tones, but again, it's a little bit darker. It's not quite as bright. And then my third option here is Balmy Blue. Now that kind of brings out, that is nice and bright. It brings out kind of the sky that's peeking through between the leaves. So what do you guys think? I think I've narrowed it down between the Balmy Blue and the crushed curry. Or you guys might call it blue or yellow. Okay. All right, let me know which should be the back. Just a little. I'm not even going to do a full background. Just a little, like I'm thinking like a 1 inch strip, 1.5 inch strip. Not liking the crushed curry. Okay, so Linda likes the Balmy Blue, yes, because it does bring out more of the purple, the sky tones there. All right, does anybody else want to chime in? Just for a little contrast so that our pretty landscape doesn't just blend right in to the early espresso. Okay, so, okay, Linda says she has not tried this layout, so I better talk her into it. Okay, no problem. Okay, so maybe I'll cut these, each panel into a strip, and then you guys can let me know. Okay, so we're still voting for a little bit of Balmy Blue or some crushed curry. And I think 1.5 inch, a 1.5 inch panel would be good. So just a strip to go behind these panels, just to make them pop a little bit, okay? So let me cut this one to 1.5 here. Okay, and you guys can decide which you prefer. Actually, we could probably do both. I don't know, that might be kind of cool. Okay. All right, so while you guys are thinking on this and voting there, all right, I'm going to get my dimensionals ready because I think I want to pop it up. I want to pop these 5 panels up, okay? So I've got a brand new pack of dimensionals. It's so exciting. I always get excited when I could open a new package of dimensionals because I use every square, every little bit. Okay, so brand new pack here. Whew. How fun is that? Okay. All right, so we're gonna start. I'm gonna put just 2. Might need 3 because this is a longer panel. All right, so I think on the longer panels, I'm gonna put 3 dimensionals. On the outside ones, I'm just doing 2. I love this Splendid autumn paper that the pretty pattern is on one side and then it's just a neutral color on the back side. So that way, because I always feel bad if there's pretty designs on both sides, then you're like, oh, which one do I use? Okay, Linda kind of likes the both. All right, well, let's go for that. Let's check it out. So these, again, they're 1.5 by 5.5 inch strips of cardstock. And if we're doing both, then I'll put the blue, the Balmy Blue towards the top here so that it's, I'm lining them both up because I want them to be like equal distance from the top and the bottom. Okay, so they're going right across the full stretch of card here. There we go, a little thread from my trimmer. Okay, there we go. So let's place the center panel first, okay? And we'll work out from there. All right, so I feel like it's a little bit easier to find the middle. Okay, and that looks like it, right? Okay, so center, we're equal distance from the bottom and the top here. And then we are going to work out from there. All right, and you'll see how this is, we don't want a lot of space, okay, but just a little bit of space to let some of that color pop through, and I think that's good. Okay, I need to go a little higher on this one so that it's centered on our middle piece. Okay, so that worked out good. So now I'm going to do the right panel. Okay, again, the space is about the same. Make sure they're at the same heights. Okay. And you see how by doing this, we still have that design across what was our full panel is still carrying through, okay? Now we'll do the outside edges. Okay, and then keep the same little distance between them. All right, make sure you center on the panel that's next to it. Good, we fit on the card. Yep, so we're good there. Okay. I'm liking the blue and the yellow. What do you guys think? I think that's pretty cool. A fun little color combo peeking out from behind there. All right, and then the next one. Okay. We're good. Okay, so our landscape matches. All right, I think that's pretty cool. I like the color peeking out from behind. We get the leaves in the sky. All right, so there is our panoramic panel. How cool is that? It's just something a little, it's kind of fun, you know, because you can take these patterns they're so pretty and they look beautiful just mounting it on a card base, right? You could just go on the card base as is and it'd be super pretty. But this adds just a little bit of artistry, a little bit of technique to it. Okay, so now we need a sentiment and something to put that on. So like I said, I pulled out the Wild Fern stamps and dies, and I thought it'd be cool to kind of tie in maybe some leafy elements, something. So I used some early espresso, just like our card base. This piece was 2 1/4, so 2 1/4 by 4 1/4, and it fit my die on there. I angled it on there. It fit perfect. And then I got this cool piece. So I didn't necessarily want it to look like ferns. I kind of wanted it to look like branches. And I think that works. All right, and I think it's gonna look pretty cool on here without taking over. I just wanted something that could kind of go down in the corner. Okay, so that was the fern, that was the corner die there. And then I've used the second size of the stitched rectangle that comes with it, okay? And this is a 1 inch wide, so 1 inch by 2 1/4. Okay, so I just used a 1 inch strip of scrap that I had and die cut that. So now I've got a pretty little stitching, right? It just adds a little something because white is nice, Okay, white is perfectly fine, but just adding that little stitching detail there, that makes it look finished. Okay, so what we're going to do here, we're going to stamp our sentiment first, and I think so we're gonna be staying with some friends this weekend. We are heading down to, they live near Wallkill, New York, so downstate, kind of like Hudson Valley a little bit. And we're gonna visit some friends down there, take a little tour of the area, just checking it out. We're gonna go visit some things in Paterson, New York, which should be beautiful down there. I think just a little bit warmer, so maybe they're not quite, they might still have some leaves on the trees, whereas we don't really have any left up here. So since we're staying with friends, I think a thank you card might be nice for a little care package that I will take. All right, so I'm gonna use Early Espresso ink with that. But then I think I'll make some more of these because, like I said, I do have some sympathy cards to send, and the heartfelt condolences would be a nice one to go with that too. Okay, so I've got my sentiment. What I'm gonna do, I want this to adhere to my corner piece. So I'm gonna put just some Stampin' Seal. You could use your liquid glue, whatever you wanted to do. You could use a little tear and tape, but I'm just putting a little bit of adhesive along the top and left edge so that it will fit. I don't want to put it right up. I think I'm gonna leave just a little bit of space so it has a little bit of a border. Okay, that looks like the left and the top is pretty even. Okay, so then I'm going to flip this over and we're going to pop it up with some dimensionals. Okay, isn't this pretty? I love it. And like I said, there's so many different paper packs and things that could work with this. I think 3 dimensionals on the back should be sufficient. Okay. All right. So like I said, I didn't want it to really distract from my pretty leaves. And I don't want to hide the fact that they're at different levels. So I think putting it here towards the right, just offsetting it. Yeah, I think offsetting it just a little bit looks good. All right, how fun is that? And then I've got some of these, the faux glass dots. These are also part of the Splendid Autumn collection. Okay, so I used the Splendid Autumn Designer Series paper, and then these are the faux glass dots. And the nice thing is these are everything is in stock right now. Okay, all these items are in stock. So if you want to check them out, they will be there. All right, we've got pumpkin pie, crushed curry, kind of an old olive, and then Cajun craze. But I think I'm going to use the crushed curry to coordinate with our leaves. Okay, and then let's see. Maybe I'll do it. We have 2 sizes here. So let's do a big one. And then we'll do a couple of little ones. Yeah, there we go. I want them at different heights. I didn't want them. So that blends in, right? It's subtle. We have extra little detail on there. I'm really liking that. You know, sometimes you kind of visualize something in your head and you're not exactly sure how it's going to turn out. But I like the way that turned out. Yeah, what do you guys think? If you think it turned out pretty well, please give me that thumbs up, like, subscribe, all of that fun stuff. Go ahead and share. right? You can save the video to your watch later list if you want to watch it again. You can share it to Pinterest. Okay, all that cool stuff. But yeah, so this is the panoramic panel technique featuring Stampin' Up's Splendid Autumn Designer Series paper and the Wild Ferns stamps and dies. All right, thank you guys so much for joining me this afternoon. I hope you'll give it a try. Again, you just need to cut your Designer Series paper down to 4 inches by 5 inches. Your outside strips get cut at 3/4, and then you trim a 1/2 inch off the top and the bottom. Then you trim the outside, what's left, down to 1 inch. All right, and then you trim 1/4, 0.25 off the top and the bottom. The middle panel you don't touch. All right, so that's the full 4-inch height. And then if you want to add a little pop of color, a little strip behind it, I used 1.5 by 5.5 strips of cardstock, just to have something peeking through. Okay, I hope you guys will join me again next Tuesday. All right, Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. We have some exciting things taking place next Tuesday. Stampin' Up! Is launching a whole new line of online exclusive products. We've got some pretty cute, utterly amazing stamps, dies, paper, and accessories. We have a beautiful hearts bundle. Okay, we've got hearts, stamps, dies, and paper. It's called Hearts of Elegance. Let me just give you a little sneak peek. All right. We've got some utterly amazing. We have some Hearts of Elegance. And check out the dies for these things too. All right, we've got stamps, dies, and paper. Again, we've got stamps, dies, woohoo, and paper. And I mean, there's more. This is just a few. Probably my favorite, the Happy Hibiscus bundle. So you'll notice these are not winter, fall, winter, holiday themed. Okay, these are kind of new products to transcend the seasons. Happy Hibiscus stamps. Full sneak peek of my projects. Some dies and a hybrid embossing folder, which means the dies actually fit in the folder so you can cut and emboss at the same time. All right, and that's just a handful of the items that are coming out. Those launch next Tuesday, November 5th. Okay, if you have any questions, please let me know. Feel free to drop me a comment. All right, thank you so much for joining me. Happy stamping. Have a great weekend and stay warm. All right, we'll see you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.